There's nothing that would not kill another species in order to survive. It's fundamentally a part of evolution and existence, and and being able to progress forward. So I was trying to talk about greed in this obscure way, and I realized, wait a minute, okay, where's the delineation between who we are now and what greed is? And it comes back to the fact that, are we as this intelligent life form able to, supersede that, to overcome, to ultimately live harmoniously with others and in the world that we live in?
No, that's your very nature. We have to deal with it.
It's inherent in every problem out there, Greed is the basis of all of it.
Are we able to?
Is that the question that I'm supposed to answer here?
You also...
Are we able to? I think it has to do with the evolution of our species, honestly, and I do not think we're there yet. Not even close to that. Certainly one.
But there has to be a constant recognition of the failure of who we are, whether your own, people around you, the society you're in, and the ability to be able to criticize and be able to talk freely about it without being tagged or, given a...
I'm teaching my 5- and 6-year-old how to play Monopoly, and when you see that they are positively giddy if you land on one of their things, and they realize they can bankrupt you because you just land on
It's all there.
He's 6 years old. He's like, I'm wiped out. It's like, can you cut me a break here? You're out of money. You got to give me this, give me that. It's like, wow. I mean, this is just hardwired. Yeah. It is hardwired into just that killer instinct of just like okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's about it's being aware of the other person. There really is being. What's the thing of common good or individual freedom?
Is this Scorsese?
I always felt the common good. That's the idea.
Yeah,
it don't work for you, man.
No,
Technically,
how does this actually work? There's a big money sign. They get launched at the target. They stick. This is their gift, okay? They're built to be thrown like a lawn dart.
Stop.
Okay? Safety first. Safety is first. We don't want to get a bad reputation. What were you most uncertain about when you went into this film? Or worried about?
It's just for Mother Earth and Alanis Morissette.
Really.
Time loop for
I had to
the
find the
camera.
places with everyone. I had to find the scenes and how these scenes could feel as if they were
good films,
happening at the moment.
Well, I can't
the energy of the piece carries you through before you realize there isn't any plot really. But you seem to be spending a lot of time with these people, I think. And so, what are they doing, basically? And is that really important? And how important, for example, we have to be technically important about the financial aspects of it. Yeah. That sort of thing. But ultimately, I said, in my mind, nobody really listens to that. They're enjoying aghast.
We also always made a virtue of that. I mean, there was a lot of techno speak about what is an IPO, for example, and how does it work. And in the original drafts of the script, Jordan explains it. And Marty and I talked about it. I said, this is sort of like science fiction where they talk about sending the rocket to space and the flange has to be put with the thermometer. But you're not really hearing anything they're saying. All you need to know is if this thing goes up and explodes, it's bad. And we said it's sort of the same thing here. It doesn't matter. So we actually had sequences where Jordan starts to explain, for example, what is an IPO, and then stuff.
About rotation.
You know what? You're not really listening. The point is this: we made $27 million in 2 hours, and then
what's an IPO?
What's an IPO? I still don't know what an IPO is. So anyway, I'm just joking. But it was really the and also the style because the style with voiceover is something that I've worked on for years, and how can I find another
divine element
part of the prism, so to speak?
Yes, secret.
How can I take the energy and push it even further, and sustain it for over a long period of time? That's the key.
Because you knew this was going to be a long film. I think
I had a
it's around
sense of it.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I had a sense of that because of and the seemingly loose structural aspects of it, which really isn't, but it has to feel that way. It has to feel it's just flowing.
22 million in 3 hours!
The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely not.
Hang you up from the heavens.
He's got pictures of your whole inner circle. This is bad.
It's okay.
Rub my temple.
You're all right.
when I first read the screenplay, before I started to do all the research, is not knowing a lot about Wall Street was thinking that maybe these guys were big-time players, that they were Madoffs or Milkins. Then you start to do an investigation. Wait a minute, these are like guys from the underworld.
Right.
Yeah, but
These are thugs beating on
the
Wall
same
Street
thing.
store.
See, it's still the same
trying
thing.
to
It's the
become-
essence of it. It's the essence of that kind of thinking that way. It's the essence of behaving that way. And it's also something that I think it's part of human nature. That's the other issue. I think all of us, under certain circumstances, could be capable of some very despicable acts. I just think that. And that's why over the years, the movies I've made have characters where, starting with Mean Streets, we didn't care what people thought about them. We try to be as true to them
This
as
is
possible. Maybe see
Daniel Jackson
part of ourselves in there that
experiment
we
on
may not like.
Tauri,
But, it's affecting
also
everyone.
called
Particularly
P
behavior in this film is affecting
yeah,
everyone around the world right
P
now. Always has.
R
Your character's in almost every scene of this
PR?
film. And I think you went from
28.
Django Unchained
No.
to Gatsby
They
to this.
without
Zu
the
viele
H.
Klamotten.
Without the
Dann
H.
probier's mal mit Vinted. Ich nutze die kostenlose App, um
Yeah,
Platz zu
I
schaffen.
actually did
Und um Sachen, die ich nicht
Gatsby
trage,
first, then I
eine
went
zweite
straight
Chance zu
into
geben.
Django
Außerdem
Unchained, and then I went straight into this. And you know, usually I like to take a nice 6 months to prepare for each role in between. But look, I mean, I'd been waiting for this movie to happen for so many years, and finally everything was lined up perfectly to make it happen. And I felt like I'd already done so much of the preparation in my head that the opportunity to do it was worth doing 3 movies back to back. I mean, I think I had a few weeks or a month,
A couple of weeks, I think. Yeah.
in between each of them. But yeah, it was almost a year and a half, 2 years of straight work. Jonah, you're working constantly now too. I mean, it takes a toll on you, though. It really does. But thankfully with this one, we developed it so much.
No,
Yeah,
this is
I've
a
already
game
taken my
experience.
time off.
Just as we wrap up, what's the experience of this film changed the most in each of you? Jonah.
Getting to play Donnie, I lost every shred of thoughtfulness to anyone else, and truly, but I think, I really treated him like an animal, like it was someone just trying to gather or feed his needs, whatever, and without any regard for what that would do to any other person. And I think being able to do that for 6 months and live with that after the fact really makes you want to be thoughtful to people in a deeper way.
Well, it certainly got me off the idea of wanting to invest any money on Wall Street for the first time in my life. I think, I think I'm happy with what I have, and I think maybe there's better things to do with my money. It just really opened my eyes to the whole culture. I mean, I worked on Wall Street at one point earlier in my life, and I didn't really think much about it until I spent a lot of time in this world, and just really made me rethink the system and the damage done by a lot of these guys.
It just made me think about all our primal urges and our need to, manage those and not give into the temptations that are out there. The life this man led was giving into every possible temptation without regard for anyone else. And, when you jump into that world head first as we did, and we started to feel like our characters sometimes. I mean, I know John and I we just became kind of different people on set. Coming back to reality, you
Literally, when you drive home,
Joey.
you're like, oh my God.
Italiani,
stop yourself from being this incredibly arrogant prick. You know what I mean?
Two times. Matt LeBlanc.
I just had to find it.
Lottie, what about you?
I don't even know if it's a release. I don't
Sehr trocken. Feuchtigkeit spenden, Glycerin mit das der Experte für dein Hormon.
some sort of crazy dream.
Perfect note, and I want to thank Terence Winter, Jonah Hill, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The relationship that you guys all have as friends. Hollywood. It's like lightning in a bottle. And do you think it's just a testament to the writing on the show or the casting of the show that even now, 10 years after the season finale, that you guys, do guest appearances on the show?
No, it's not touched. Sorry.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
went through together. So
now it's just we make a film night, a Joey film night, and we have to make.
My name is Janelle Riley. I'm the assistant
Jack
editor of
O'Neill.
Variety. I'm so thrilled to welcome you to this first SAG screening with Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Congratulations on what a trip. Because this is a SAG audience, I always like to start by asking, how did you guys get your SAG card?
Stupid.
Yes. You got an alarmed look there. You do have a SAG card, right? Yeah. We might have to ask you to leave.
I think it was a Matchbox Cars commercial.
He just liked it, Joey.
it's kind of like nobody else. There's only 5 people that know what it was like, other than myself, to go on through that. And I feel really fortunate to have been part of it. I learned so much from watching it. They're all very, very different types of actors, and they all have their
Halloween.
But I think we all, as a group, really learned from one another as actors together. By the end, it was really funny.
Sorry,
we really were like no pun intended.
never changed.
Do you ever watch any of the old episodes?
They gave me the we did. You have 200 and something. Sometimes I'll catch one and say, oh,
Wait, they actually told you we're giving you a card?
yes. They gave me a part and then they took it away. Start watching it. I'll get halfway through it and not remember any of it.
Ironically, mine was for CNBC. It was a Money Watch. And
Drunk
cameras
during
this
this?
close,
What happened? I don't remember this at all. We just did so many. It's like one long.
It's bizarre because I remember all of them. I remember lines. I remember that Leo rides here. Miss Chenandler Bong to your apartment. Believe me, the fans, they know it. Miss Chenandler Bong. Oh, now that one I don't remember. But it ends with Big Fat Goalie.
To me, it really represented almost like a modern something that was out of a different era, an era that
Oh my God, am I throwing a spelling on you because you're asking me the questions?
Weekend at Bernie's.
As you saw on the screen.
Of course, the two I knew I threw out there and then forgot the rest of them. Okay, speaking of games,
This is
we're going to play a little game of word association. Going to show you one of
any
your
regard for
friends.
the consequences of Jordan's
And I
story.
need one
really
word.
Yeah, it's daughter Enterprise of the Salvatore family.
Ticklish.
Salvatore?
This world, you can't believe it.
Okay.
Then what I read?
Courtney Cox.
When I picked up that book, I was like, and the boat went down after they tried
Yes,
to,
we are involved in this.
escape
We
from
get
the FBI, and the private plane crash, and
Next up,
3
Jerry.
powers
on and
P
I really became obsessed with making this
good enough there. And
percent of the money
actually
paid related.
set it up with Scorsese.
Yeah, P is important
Island
because
do
the
it.
set.
The girls have an age.
It fell through
Did
largely because the studio
people tweet that?
had a lot of issues.
Do you know that people tweet that, but you know who loves you? Rhoda Barrymore, and she's a commenter. She's watching live right now, and she says, let's face it, he looks good when he's wearing a satin or a tailor suit. It's all good, baby.
And then we sort of went on to try to set it up
That's-
with different
is
directors,
this-
but I really couldn't get Marty out of my mind. I mean, he's somebody that's able to sort of encapsulate the underworld with such authenticity and bring such
this is new.
humor to these characters. I mean,
Yeah, this is live.
Goodfellas was supposed to be a comedy. He told me he really said that. It started out, and this was sort of tailor-made for him to do. So we had it set up with another director. He was supposed to go, and then ultimately I kind of weaseled out of it at the last minute and stuck with it and
Weasel?
stuck with it. And then these guys
Weasel?
at Red Granite, Joey and Rizza, they got the financing for it, and they really said to us, and this was what really greenlit it for Marty. They said, "Look, not only are we going to give you money for this,
Status
we want you to push
I'm
the
breaking
envelope
in.
as far as you possibly can.
In the
Don't
Air
hold
Force
anything
secret
back.
documents.
Go to the utter extremes." And once I said that to Marty, I said, we just don't get opportunities like this ever in this industry.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
I cannot give you the freedom
I need a
these guys
secret
want to give us.
secure line
And, the budget to make
Carter.
this really an epic tale of
Carter?
Wall Street in the 80s and 90s. So we have to take this opportunity, and thankfully he
Carter?
agreed, and
Tracer.
that's what you
Carter?
saw on the screen.
And for the rest,
Carter?
the rest of the actors who don't have Marty Scorsese on speed dial, can you tell me a little bit about how the role came to you? Was it an audition process? How did you first get the script?
Mine was just a simple audition process.
Carter?
Never heard anything. And then the day before they called and said that I was going to come read with you. And it was
It's hard
literally
not
like
to laugh, I guess.
really so fast, head-spinningly fast. But it was like any other audition.
Only you're reading with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. So it's like any other audition.
Yeah.
There was no intimidation factor there?
No, he's a really nice guy.
Let's talk about him like he's not here.
You,
Okay, let's talk about
Divine
that.
Animals
No,
on
I wasn't.
Instagram.
I wasn't intimidated at all. I was just really afraid that I mean, on set and in that audition, I wasn't afraid of you or Marty. I was afraid of
Yeah, the official is fake. This is why I said that. Yeah.
more than that.
Leo, this is the organization of Leo, but Leo himself is the Divine Animals.
But no.
No, I can show.
John?
Like most actors, especially of my generation, Marty's in a separate category, and it's kind of like a bucket list. I'll bet if you ask the SAG membership to list the directors they dream that they could work with, and now I know why.
Okay.
I got to be a fly on the wall. I got to be there. It was very intimidating because you don't want to disappoint Santa Claus. You know what I mean? It's like you're getting him, and he could not have been a happier, more inspiring person to watch.
An impression of
and to be
how
on the set the first day I was working with Leo and with Rob, who I also grew up really looking up to and as a role model. It was one of those moments where, Ellen asked me, the casting director asked me if I'd be interested in this role, and I was like, I jumped at it, and I got to be there. And you'll notice there's a lot of directors in the movie too, and I think the common experience among people who have multiple disciplines is that they got to not just watch him as an actor and learn from his process, but also as a director how to deal with actors in such a great way and to get such nuanced, subtle performances in